Get set, where them haters, where them hoes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
This is why I train in martial arts.
You know, telling MGTOW people, specifically incels, telling them to just man up and stop crying and blaming them 100% for the problems that they're having as far as dating and relationships go is disingenuous, and it doesn't really address the problem. I said in a comment, while I do think a lot of people who are incels may have some social issues and even mental issues or mental health issues, that still does not mean that there isn't something wrong with the society. I think a lot of times they do have some legitimate gripes, because one thing I started noticing, and we're talking decades ago, when I was out there, I think we were at the beginning of it, is there was a significant number of women who nobody was good enough for. Like, you would have to be absolutely positively perfect in order for them to even consider you when they were not perfect themselves. I knew I should have bought this t-shirt, because it was a t-shirt I think that somebody made of what women want. And if you're in the DC area and you're in your 40s, you might remember this t-shirt. It said $100,000 a year. I think it says 6'1" or 6 feet plus, and let's just say a rather large member. That's what they want. Now that is a small amount of people, okay? And if that's not a small enough amount of people as it is, you have to be young too. So you have to be in your late teens or 20s, maybe early 30s, and have all that. I have never met anybody that had all that at the same time. You basically would have to be a rock star or a professional athlete for them to give you a chance. And we're not talking about women who are supermodels. We're talking about just regular folks. It looks to me like there's a significant number of regular folks who think they're too good for regular folks. And that's got to be putting some fuel into the fire that incels and MGTOWs have. That's not to mention the gender bigotry that does exist these days towards men, particularly young ones. And you already had any racial issues that were there. And if you want to talk about what goes on in the black community, you have skin colorism. So just yelling man up, no. Did yelling man up free the slaves? No, it didn't. Yelling man up did not help people get civil rights. Yelling man up has never helped anybody who has been the target of homophobic violence. Yelling man up is disingenuous. There is a problem in our society. Any type of isms that come up and rear their head always have a tentacle that tends to brush the backs of part of the majority. So just like you have extreme racism, so you have people that you can look at, you know they're racist. And you may not follow that, but there are a lot of people in society who may be even only mildly infected with racism, but that infection is still there. Same thing with extreme sexism, that infection is still there. Just like I used to laugh at jokes that were made against men, or said that men were stupid or something like that, because it really didn't bother me, because I felt secure. But I remember a female co-worker pointed it out. She's like, you shouldn't laugh at that. There are people that really, truly think that and believe that. Just like there are people that really and truly think and believe some of those race jokes. And I was like, come on. That was my Neo Morpheus moment. Like, come on, you can't be serious. She said, just watch. You're not paying attention because you're probably looking at your pain as a black man. She was a white Native American lady. So you're probably looking at your pain as a black man to really notice that there's something going on against men. So I gave her a shot because she never steered me wrong before. And then I started saying it. And then I was like, oh my goodness. So just yelling man up, no, that doesn't do it. That's not fair. And I know that when you try to tell some of the MGTOW people ideas for them to help this situation, some of them may just yell cope. Okay? Just like when I've tried to get people to take martial arts lessons, they either yell, they do the equivalent of cope, I can't do that, or oh, come on, you got your eyes just shoot your crowd, and all this other stuff like that. People who think they can't do it, people who think it's just for children. But I would tell you, the martial arts are a good, if you need to cope. If you need to cope, it's a really good way to cope. Historically, disenfranchised people have turned to martial arts. According to a lot of, especially a lot of the martial arts mythology, which some people say really isn't history, people will say it's mythology. I tend to believe it, but you know, it's helped the weaker people defend themselves against their stronger oppressors. So there is that to be said for martial arts. And these days, a lot of you people who are either, really, I'm not even going to say you people who are MGTOW or Incel. A lot of you people, period, who are just male, you know, you may have to defend yourself against gender bigots who are female, who feel like because you're not a psychopath, you know, you're not a thug, you ain't keeping it real, or, you know, you're not Chad, or whatever. They feel like because you're not what they think is a real man, they can be violent towards you. And then they may attack you. But you know as well as I do, if you knock them out with the same amount of energy, if you give them the same amount of physical energy they're giving you, you're going to jail, or because you don't know your own strength, you're going to end up putting them in a hospital unnecessarily. You guys need to take martial arts lessons. And a lot of women, you know, you women who aren't violent, some of you get attacked by some of these women who aren't violent. Because a lot of people who tend to be bigots and ists and follow isms tend to be people who also believe in and use and follow violence. So they may be violent towards you. So even if you don't consider yourself to be MGTOW, even if you don't consider yourself to be Incel, because I'm neither one of those things, but I have a sympathetic ear towards them, because I remember when I was in that bucket, and I remember how I got myself out. I'll just summarize it. I got myself out by not worrying about women anymore, by just doing me. And the women showed up. Okay, I just took my pain for a while, did my time, I had my mission. I kept on my mission. I stayed on point. And then I started running into people who were also going. And it's like you start jogging. And then it's like there's somebody else that's jogging too. They see you. And they don't want to jog alone. So then y'all start jogging together. And you go towards the things that you want in life. So, and I'm going to do another video about how you can use martial arts to actually meet women. This will be my best guesses, because I had already met my significant other by the time I really got back into it. But I got some ideas on how you could use martial arts to meet women. So long and short of it is, you know, stop stepping on people who are MGTOW or whatever, or Incel. They don't need that. They've already got enough problems. And you people who are MGTOWs and Incels, if you really want to go your own way, martial arts practice is a great thing to do with your time. And if you're incel and you need to cope, martial arts is a good way for you to improve yourself. I've seen it happen. I've used it. You know, I may tell my story one day about how sickly I used to be when I was little, how a lot of this stuff helps. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts and social issues and incels and MGTOWs and stuff like that. And peace.